I'm Natalie Hummel, founder and executive director of Every Kid Sports. So we started Every Kid Sports when we learned that 68% of kids 9 to 13 were not playing sports. And the number one reason they weren't playing is they couldn't afford it. I'm an athlete. I grew up playing sports. Sports has taught me so many life lessons. And when I learned there was that many kids that weren't getting the opportunity to experience the joy of sport, I figured we had to do something. Yeah, so the main program we have right now is called The Pass. And this is really what we started with in the very beginning. We thought that the best way that we could help kids get in the game was to cover a portion of the registration fee. So our signature program, it's called The Pass. It allows families to apply up to 4 times a year for up to $150 each time to get their kid registered in a recreational sport. And one of the great things we love about The Pass is that it really allows the kid to choose the sport that they want to play. So it's kid choice. We also encourage sport sampling at young ages and then the development of multi-sport athletes. So we want kids going from sport to sport to sport versus picking one sport and playing it all year round. Yeah, so our tagline is "We Pay Kids Play," and really the we is the big we of all the people that it's going to take to bring the funding in needed to support all those kids. And it's also about Every Kid Sports because we're the ones that are granting the scholarships and helping the families cover the registration fees. And then the Kids Play, that's any kid from a low-income family that wants to participate in sports. We're trying to give them the opportunity to experience the joy of playing sports. So our funding comes from a lot of different sources. Historically, we've been almost 100% funded by corporate partners. A couple years ago, we got a large grant from a private foundation up in Seattle, which really allowed us to expand our program throughout the Pacific Northwest. But right now, we're in the midst of kicking off a national fundraising campaign where we're going to be bringing in individual donors, as well as corporate partners and as well as foundations, because really it's going to take everybody working together to solve the problem. If we want to offer our program on a national level, it's going to take between $10 and $90 million to help between 100,000 and 1 million kids. And I know that sounds like a huge amount of money, but when you think that the average cost to register a child for after-school sports is around $100, now some of those are more expensive and some are less, but when you average that out, it comes up to a big number. At Every Kid Sports, we are always trying to improve our process and make it even better for our families. And one of the things we're really proud about is the dignity that we give our low-income families when they come to us. So one of the barriers we're breaking down and one of the problems that happens when people need help registering their kid for youth sports, and one of the things that gets in the way is having to go in and ask for financial support. And one of the ways we do that is we allow them to register for our program in the privacy of their own home, on their computer or on their cell phone. So they don't have to go to somebody and say, hey, I can't afford to pay for my kid to be in sports. And one of the innovations we're coming up with for the new iteration of our program is we're going to be issuing credit cards to our families with just the amount that they can spend at that youth sports organization. There'll be some controls on the credit card so that they can only use it at youth sports organizations, but this will even elevate our families' dignity a little bit more because now they're going to be able to register their child just like everybody else, and no one needs to know that they're a low-income family. Yeah, so we've received some really great recognition recently. We are one of the Project Play champions. We were recognized for that in 2019. And really that just highlights the fact that we are one of the solutions for addressing the sports inequality that's happening in our country. In addition, we won the Beyond Sports inaugural Collective Impact Award for addressing sports inequalities in sports. So we were really proud of both of those awards, and it just really validated our programs and that we are on the right track for solving a big problem in youth sports. Yeah, I get the question all the time, why should we care about youth sports? And really, the reason we should care about youth sports is it's a great social, emotional learning tool. And when kids play sports, they do better in life. They learn how to cope with adversity. They learn how to win. They learn how to lose. It builds their character. They also, research overwhelmingly shows that kids involved in after-school sports, they do better in school. They have less drug use. They are less likely to commit violence and be a part of a gang. They're less likely to commit crime. And overall, I mean, they're more likely to graduate school and do well in school, and they feel better. They're less likely to have mental illness and depression, and they learn how to be lifelong athletes. It's such an easy thing for kids to get involved in, and it really helps. So research shows $1 invested in youth sports produces 1,000% return for society. And when you think about it, it's probably even higher than that. You know, if they're not having a teen pregnancy, or they're not being in jail, or they're not doing drugs, think of all the benefits of turning somebody from maybe one of those paths into having a productive path through life. My goal, and one of my ambitions, is to help 1 million kids get in the game. And when we first started Every Kid Sports, that was the goal that we set out 11 years ago. And I still am on a path to try and help that many kids across the country. And to help that many kids, that means I need to raise around $90 million. Now, right now, my goal is to raise $10 million so I could launch our program and make it available across the whole country. And I really need everybody's help to reach that goal. There are lots of ways that people can help. So one of the easiest ways is to make a donation. And we love recurring donations. So if you could just make a $5 donation and make it every month, like let's say just 1 week a month, you don't have your special coffee and you donate that to Every Kid Sports instead, that would really make a difference to our organization, and that would get a kid in the game. And if you look at all the different things that you subscribe to, what are some of the things that you could unsubscribe to and maybe subscribe to helping a child get in the game? In addition, there's other ways you can help by connecting us to high wealth individuals, connecting us to people of influence. There are ways that you can follow us on social media and help us get our message out. And when we have our fundraising campaign, just sharing it and letting people know that this is something maybe that you care about and you can help us get the word out. Yeah, so another great program we have is a Champions program. So if you know somebody who is a celebrity or a high-performing athlete that would like to champion our program, please connect us. We love our champions. They really help get the word out. They share our messaging on social media, and they can really help us expand our brand. So one of my goals with Every Kid Sports is to become a household name. So whenever a family is struggling to pay for after-school sports, I'd love them to just think, oh, Every Kid Sports, I know where to go. And then on the other hand, if someone really cares about sports and they're trying to think, oh, where can I give money to really help youth sports, I'd love them to also be thinking Every Kid Sports. So that's one of my goals, to make Every Kid Sports a household name.